All righty, let's do a screen share and we'll get everything in gear and we'll get started from the beginning. So hi everybody, my name's Diane Hochman. My site is dianehochman.com. If you've never visited, definitely stop by and check it out and make sure you're on the newsletter. And tonight, I'm going to talk about 7 thought processes for success. Now, I've been in the home business industry since 1999, so it's been a few years. And I've done pretty much every facet of the game. I've done traditional network marketing. I've done mail order, direct response. I've done online. I've done offline. I've created marketing systems. So I've done a lot of different things. And tonight I'm going to share with you some of the things that I think are most important. And what you're going to find is that I'm not going to give you an internet marketing trick or some kind of secret sauce or anything like that. These are the things that have stood the test of time that have guided me through to today. So Jim Rohn, who I'll throw up a picture of in a minute, he passed several years ago. He was a great mentor of mine. Many of you are familiar with him. If you're not, just check him out. Go to YouTube and it's Jim, R-O-H-N, Jim Rohn. And he always talked about your governing philosophies, the things, the thought processes that were determining the processes that you were working with. And there's a picture of me and Jim. It's a little blurry, gets an old picture. But he talked about success is in the set of the sail, right? If we're all big sailboats, right? Where we're going to end up has to do with how the sail is set. And we have to work very hard, harder on our mind, right? Harder on our mind than anything else, because in times of trouble, in times of turmoil, and guys, if you stay in the home business game long enough, sooner or later, you're going to hit something, okay? That's not negative. That's just the truth. Whether it's a program you've been building that you're making good money with falls apart, whether it's you have a partner that doesn't work out, whether it's, financial issues, cash flow issues. So if you don't have strong governing philosophies, and if you haven't set your sail, it's really easy for the ship to go off course, So let's get into some of these thought processes. I hope you brought a notebook. I hope that you take this very seriously, because often we're looking for some magic pixie dust, something that's going to magically make us successful. But it's these ideas and concepts day in and day out that are going to take you to the next level. So the first one, and this was probably the biggest piece of advice. People always ask me what, if you could give advice to somebody, what would you give? And this was advice that was given to me. If you would only do what you already know how to do, things would change. What does that mean? I remember when I was first starting out and the internet was rudimentary at the time, I set up a marketing system, and it was call, mail, email. I'd call the lead and leave them a message. I'd mail them a postcard, and I would email them, and I was driving them into a site that I had. And I went down to the store, and if you've been around long enough, you'll remember these, and I bought those great Avery postcards that you could print in your printer. For the life of me, I could not get the printer to work. I couldn't get the printer to print them. And I was on a very strict budget at the time. So I couldn't waste these postcards, screwing them up in the printer. I didn't have the money to buy more. So what I did was I went back to this philosophy and said, you know what, Di? You know how to write an address on a postcard. And I hand wrote all the postcards, and I put stickers on them, and little scratch and sniff stickers or sparkly stickers that I bought down at the dollar store or wherever. And I used markers in different colors. And so what happened was I did what I knew how to do, instead of sitting and saying, I can't do this. And this is so true on the internet. A lot of times we get caught up in thinking we can't do something. But if we would go back and do what we know how to do, what would happen is the next piece of the path would illuminate. The next piece of the path would show up. Very often we see marketers, they're always worried about how to do it right. And they're looking for something, or they tend to think that they won't be successful until they could do a particular thing that they don't know how to do. My philosophy is always do what you know how to do today. And it's really strong. And if you think about it, how many things do you already know how to do that you could be doing, but you're not because you think there's some fancier way to do it? So that is number one. Number two, and this is my old mentor, Joe. This is he and I back in 2005. And he would say this all the time, and I adopted it, and I've been saying it ever since. And if you haven't heard me say this, everybody's heard me say this, but if you're new tonight and you haven't heard me say this, I'm going to say it now. I'm looking for people that are looking for me. In other words, I'm an attraction marketer, okay? I'm putting myself out there, my content out there, my name, my image. I'm becoming very visible, right? In order for people to notice me, to see me. And what I'm doing is I'm sorting people because I'm looking for the people that are looking for me. And trust me, whatever you sell, whatever you promote, whatever you're doing, there's people that are looking for you right now at this very moment. But if they can't find you, they can't give you their money. So I am always out there trying to be more visible every day so I can get in front of more people, not because I want to sell them all, but because I'm looking for the people that are looking for me. And guys, when you locate those people, business becomes very simple because there's not a lot of, people always ask me, well, how do you close? I don't close. I put lots of people in front of offers and I find out who was looking for this, And it all starts with a heavy amount of visibility. This guy right here is the guy who created the first attraction marketing system in the industry. He had the first affiliate program in the industry selling info products. He's the guy that is the precursor to everything that you guys see out in the marketplace today. He's the great granddaddy of all of it. And he taught me this. And when he did, I went from somebody that was chasing people around in malls and parking lots trying to sell them diet pills to somebody who was getting orders on demand with my phone ringing off the hook. He taught me to look for people that are looking for you. And in order to locate those people, you have to be visible. Next one, this is another one from Mr. Rohn, right? No, I think there's a little video on this. Ooh, right? Profits are better than wages. Profits are better than wages. And I heard this at the very beginning of my career, and it took a while because I came from employees. I had always been an employee. My husband and my ex-husband had always been an employee. Our parents, our grandparents, everybody had been an employee. Everybody had worked for somebody else and they received wages, and their income was based upon a job title. The job pays this is what you make. There was no chance to increase their value in the marketplace. There was no chance to make a lot more money. It's just what it was. My grandfather was a mail carrier. There was a category. You get paid this much. All mail carriers, didn't matter how good you were, all mail carriers got paid that. And then they got paid based upon seniority. I was working in a college. I worked for the state. And no matter how good I was, no matter what I did, I wasn't going to make more than that category made. So when I started to understand about profits and I started to understand how to take control of my value, what I could earn hourly, monthly, annually, it became pretty crazy. Okay. With learning how to run a business and make profits comes more responsibility, but also you get more freedom. So I am always excited about the capacity or the option to earn profits. Next one, point, don't pander. There is a lot of backlash against the network marketing home business industry right now. There's Netflix documentaries, Amazon Prime documentaries. There's, you know, stuff in the stock market going on. The FTC just recently sent letters to hundreds of companies. There's whole YouTube channels, highly watched YouTube channels dedicated to backlash against the industry. And part of the reason why we see so much backlash is because the bulk of the folks that are involved are chasing people around and pestering them or pandering to them. My mentor, Joe, taught me, he said, listen, your job is to become highly visible. Your job then is to point at offers, not beg, not convince, not chase, but it's to get a group of people together and then show them what you have available and let that sorting process happen. When he taught me this, and I always say that, I say it to myself, I'm like, you know, if I find myself getting a little too salesy, or if I find myself wanting to sell people, and I still do it after 22 years, you know, it's just part of the game. I always say to myself, and by the way, all of these things that I'm teaching you are things that I say to myself daily. Points, don't pander. Diane, don't chase that guy. That guy's not showing up. He didn't keep his appointment. He didn't follow through. He didn't fill out the form, whatever it is. He didn't follow the directions. You pointed, you showed him the path. Don't go chasing after him and pandering to him. Just point again and see if he shows up. So point, don't pander is a very important philosophy, concept, success thought process. This one, very, 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 very big deal, also came from my mentor, Joe. I'm a walking reward for 10,000 people. He used to get real fired up when he'd speak, and he'd go, I'm a preacher of plenty, I'm a minister of more, I'm a walking reward for 10,000 people. I will not be denied. And he would go on and on and on. And he would talk about he is out in the marketplace, giving, serving, teaching, sowing, okay? Not getting, right? The getting comes after. And he had a role in the marketplace that he was to be a reward to people. He was to give to people, sow into people, speak increase into them, lift them up. And I loved this philosophy, still do to this day. What I added to this philosophy of my own, because he used to say, I'm a walking reward for 10,000 people. I thought that was kind of an unusual phrase. There's so many people out there that are meant for you. And as I mentioned before, your job is to become visible for them. Your job is to get that video out, get that graphic out, get that written piece out, get this stuff out there and promote it so that people can find you. But there are some people that are just not meant for you. No matter what you do, no matter how good you are, no matter how visible you are, there are certain people that are not meant for you. And when you accept that, and I accepted that very early on, when you accept that and your whole, it's like, I'm looking for people that are looking for me. I'm a walking reward for 10,000 people. My job is to go out there and locate the people that are meant for me. It's a whole mind shift, guys. It's a whole mind shift because most of us have been taught we're supposed to prospect everybody and we're supposed to chase everybody and we're supposed to continually follow up on everybody and we're supposed to go get everybody. Then when we get into the marketing side of the game, they start to talk to us about our target market and you know, determining who the person is that you're searching for. It's Mary, she's 42 years old, she's from the Midwest, she has 3 kids, she likes to do yoga. It's like a demographic type of target market, and that's cool, and I love that, and we use that in marketing all the time. But I'm talking about something kind of on a higher level. I'm a walking reward for 10,000 people. I show up every day and I put out content and tips and ideas and take messages and just help people out because that's my being. And while I'm doing this, I'm looking for people that are looking for me, because I want to make profits, because profits are better than wages. See, we get into this whole governing philosophy concept. So it doesn't matter whether I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn. The philosophy of being a walking reward transcends a platform. It's really, people will say to me sometimes, well, you can't post that many times on Facebook. I'm like, of course I can. I can post as many times as I want, because if I'm actually sewing into people and being a walking reward, I'm not going to have a problem. When I'm actually out there, instead of trying to get, I'm trying to give. And that's my normal behavior on social media. People respond to you differently, and the platforms actually treat you differently. It's very, very, very interesting. Okay, the next one. This one is tremendous. I said it to someone today. I say it to myself continually. People ask me, how did you become good at writing copy, email copy, or headlines, or Facebook posts, etc.? It's because I learned this concept. Enter the conversation they already have going on in their mind. All of your prospects, everybody out in the marketplace, is thinking certain things. They're always thinking things. There's always a conversation going on in their mind. In fact, right now, there's a conversation going on in your mind. Some of you guys are thinking, wow, this is really good stuff. I love this. Some of you guys are thinking, I've heard this before, because maybe you've been following me for 10 years. You're going to hear it 10 years from now again, because this stuff is the most important stuff. Some of you guys are thinking, I really got to get the kids to bed. I hope this doesn't run too long. Some of you guys are thinking, I hope there was a replay. Some of you guys are thinking, I wish I had my notebook. Some of you guys are thinking, there's a million things that you can be thinking. And every group out in the marketplace is having conversations in their head. It's your job to become cognizant of what those conversations are. For those of you that have been around me for some time, have you ever read one of my letters and thought, how could she know? Or oh, she knows exactly what it's like, or oh, I love Diane because she understands me, or any of those things? I know you have, if you've been around me for any period of time, because I'm writing and speaking into the conversations that people are having in their head, that most people are having in their head. And that is the key to being a good writer, a good speaker, and a good prospector and a good recruiter. It's understanding, what are the conversations that the average mom, I'm wearing my mom life. I love this hat. My kids gave it to me when they were fully grown. They're grown up adults, but they gave me this hat, mom life, and I love it. What are the conversations that mothers that are trying to make money from home are having in their head? What are the conversations that people that are short on retirement income and they're hitting 60, what are they thinking? What are the conversations in their head? What are the conversations in the head of people who are looking to do this part-time around their job? What are the conversations? When you spend the time to study this and learn this and think about this, and then you start to write and speak into the souls of people, the way they respond to you changes. And remember, I'm looking for people that are looking for me, but it's my responsibility to speak in a way that they can hear me, speak in a way that they know I'm the person for them. So enter the conversation they already have going on in their mind. If you learn to do this, you're going to make money. Let's see. Let's hit the button. Now, I'm going to give you my biggest advice. My biggest advice, and that's like a serious face I have on there. I think I have, I don't know, do I have a short nail or broken nails? I don't know, but serious face there. Biggest advice. There are always fads. There's always the new thing to learn. There's always somebody looking to sell you the next technique, the next this. I get hit up all day long. I see the ads all day long. There's always something that's supposed to be the magical answer. And there's, there's trends and there's fads and, things that come and go. I mean, I could think of a million things that have come and gone. Remember when, messenger bots were the really big thing, and then Facebook shut those down. Now they're over on Instagram, all these different things that you're supposed to learn. And everybody's continually trying to learn the next big thing. It's not your answer. What you want to do is focus on the fundamentals. Yeah, they're not as sexy, they're not as exciting, and they don't feel like they're going to give you a result as fast. But, and I should have put this on a slide and I didn't, I was taught to go slow to go fast. Go slow to go fast. Because when you're moving at a slower pace and you're focusing on the fundamentals, you tend to build a very strong skill set. And then you also tend to build a lot of trust with your audience. And when you have trust with your audience, see, when somebody doesn't trust you, it takes a while to get them to want to buy what you have. When somebody trusts you, you send it out and they just look at it and they know who you are. They trust you. So if it's something they want, they just buy it. They don't have to question it. And they don't wonder if it's a ripoff or it's, wonder what it is. They just trust you. And that makes all the difference. So I want to go slow to go fast. I want to hone my skills so that I become what they call unconsciously competent at it. Guys, I've done it. In fact, I've done it I did it at Bob Healig's event. I've done it at a lot of events. Somebody like last minute can't speak. And I've been asked literally 5 minutes before, hey, can you do an hour on the stage? We're short, somebody couldn't make it. Or could you fill in on this webinar? I did it last week, or I think the week before for Brian and Jim Finale. It was their birthday. And I found out like minutes before that I was doing the training. Why can I do that? Because I've practiced so much that I am unconsciously competent. It means I don't even have to think about it. I could write a letter on demand, etc. So I'm not talking about how great I am, because I don't think I'm great at all. I think I'm just practiced. You want to work on speaking. Okay, these are the skills you want to work on. Fundamentals. Fundamental speaking, whether it's speaking to one person and learning conversational skills, how to put somebody at ease, how to make somebody feel safe in your environment, how to take somebody and get them to want to take a look at what you have, right? Or whether it's speaking on a larger scale, whether it's webinars like something like tonight or Facebook Lives, or whether it's actually on a stage. You get to decide what type of venues you want to speak in, but you must develop strong speaking skills, even if it's just speaking to one person. If you cannot speak, and or if you're afraid of speaking, that would be the very first thing I would work on. And by the way, I was afraid. I was petrified. And then I would go out and I would have conversations with people to practice, not to sell them, just to practice. Because I had to get, guys, I was broke. I didn't tell the story, but man, I was broke. I had no money. So I had to kind of, fast forward my learning curve. I didn't have time to take 4 years to learn how to prospect. I didn't have time to take 5 years to learn how to write an email. I had to do it then. So I jumped into the deep end of the pool and I just went to work speaking to people. Writing. Okay, the next skill is writing. I largely make a living because of my email list. Okay, I do other things, etc. But the bulk of my income comes from meeting and connecting with people, inviting them to my newsletter or giving them some type of, offer, giveaway, capture page or whatever to get them into my newsletter, and then writing to them, inviting them to come look at different things. And occasionally I write an actual sales letter. Not too many of them, but 4 or 5 times a year. But the bulk of things is writing and inviting. And if you are not working, and I know people say, I can't write. Actually, you can, okay? You can, because sometimes a letter can be 2 sentences and then you point to something. But speaking and writing you want to be practicing these skills every day. If it's writing posts, it doesn't have to be big letters. You don't have to write a book, but can you write a post that compels people, that speaks into the conversation in their mind, that compels them to engage with you, that gives you the opportunity then to invite them to take a look at something, or invite them to come to a webinar, or invite them to watch a video. And then presenting. Okay, presenting. Every single person that is watching this, I want to double dog dare you. I want you between now and the end of the year to learn how to present your opportunity or whatever it is you're selling. Now, the quickest and easiest and simplest way to do that is find a recording of somebody giving a good presentation for your product or service or opportunity, and listen to it a couple hundred times until it becomes part of you. To this day, I can still do the presentation from my very first MLM from 1999. I could do it blindfolded with my hands tied behind my back, hanging upside down. I could do it anywhere because I listened to it so many times that I could do it in my sleep. If you have not learned to present your opportunity, now is the time. Now is the time, because if we don't learn to do it ourselves, what happens is we're always dependent on somebody else, or we're dependent on a canned video. And I like a video, guys. You know, I like the duplicatable stuff, but you should be able to speak to what you're selling. If you can't, that's okay. It doesn't mean you can't make money, and it doesn't mean that you can't move forward, but this should be a very big goal of yours. Okay. We want to learn to speak to people one-on-one. We want to learn to speak to people in groups. We want to learn to speak to people on video. We want to learn to speak to people on webinars. We want to learn to speak to people from a stage. You don't have to, but if you're going to make more money if you do. We want to learn how to write a Facebook post, a LinkedIn post, any kind of post. We want to learn how to write invitations and letters. And then if you really want to get advanced, you can start to learn to write sales copy. You don't have to learn that, but I'm telling you now, you'll make more money if you learn to write. Presenting, you really want to practice presenting. If you're serious about making money, this is one of the most serious things you could be doing. And then the last one in this, you know, with my advice is making offers. Okay. You need to learn how to share an offer, or how to craft an offer, to add a bonus, or to add some, you know, something if they make a decision in a certain period of time. You need to learn how to compel someone to buy. And that skill, again, is something that you could learn in a short period of time if you practiced, if you studied some, and it will pay you forever and ever and ever. It will pay you over and over and over. Those 4 skills I just mentioned are the things that will pay you. These are the skills that will pay you long term. Now, what's interesting is if you think about those skills can be used on any of the platforms. Okay. Those skills will continue to work for you. Once you acquire those skills, they'll continue to work for you. You'll have them forever. It's like learning to drive, guys. You know, you learn to drive and now you don't have to think about driving. You just drive. You've been driving for years. You just drive. You don't think about it. These skills are the skills that if you get them under your belt and you learn them and they become a part of you, you'll be able to make money forever. Now, again, you know, just so that this isn't misinterpreted, I'm not promising you any particular income or your success, and we're not even talking about any type of opportunity tonight. But I am telling you from my experience of 22 years in this industry that when I learned those skills, everything changed. Those are the skills that'll set you free. Okay. And this is a picture of me out in Vegas. I was staying right next door. This is the Bellagio, and I was staying right next door at the Cosmopolitan. I was out making some videos and stuff. Guys, I get to, you know, aside from, you know, we're living in the COVID period, and that's impacted things. I've gotten to travel all over the world. I can work from anywhere I want because I can sit down with my laptop and write a letter. I can sit down and craft an offer. I can sit down and point at an offer. I can do these things. I can do, you may or may not notice in this picture, I'm wearing a microphone. There's a little tiny microphone pinned to my blouse. It's called a lavalier microphone. You can buy them on Amazon. I was speaking, right? Because I was making videos. I was speaking while I was on vacation. There's other pictures from the same trip where I'm sitting at a bar with a laptop. It's the bar in my room, not a bar, and writing out a letter that was bringing in money. So those skills will set you free, allow you to come and go wherever you want, allow you to pretty much make money on demand. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Diane Hochman. DianeHochman.com is my home base. And I have all types of options and opportunities and classes. And we have the skills clinics coming up. I have all different ways to help you with your home business. And I hope that you reach out and connect with me, because there are certain things that just experience just gives you over time. And I usually can look at someone and pretty much know what's holding them up. And the reason why I did this training tonight is because for most folks, it's the mind, it's the thought processes, it's the set of the sail, it's the governing philosophies that are keeping you from moving forward. And if you would just take a look at the notes that you took tonight and think about this, these are the exact things that will unlock you from sweating over the little stuff. They'll unlock you from worrying about whether people will do it or not do it, whether they'll sign up or not sign up. None of that is part of the thought processes that I carry with me today. And it's taken a lot of stress off of me. It's taken a lot of pressure off of me. And it's allowed me to create income on demand. So I want to wish you guys a wonderful evening. I'll be available on all the social media afterwards if you want to connect. That's it. Those are my thought processes for success in 2022. It's been a rough couple of years, and I think all of us as a group, we need to just settle down, saddle up, and get ready to hit it, because anything that you want is sitting right out there. But you got to put in the work, and you got to think the right way. So with that, I'm going to wish you all a very wonderful night. Thank you for being here. And of course, if you enjoyed tonight, there's a lot more on the way. Tune in as we dig deeper and deeper and deeper into success for 2022. It's the end of the year, and we're just going to keep going at it and make sure you're all prepared. Everybody have a great night.